Okay, today we're going to learn the halachas of cutting the nails during those days of Avelis, where if there is any restriction when it starts. So, in Tov Kuf Nun Aleph, in Seif Yud Beis, it says Tispoires Shavua Zeh. We're talking about the haircut over here. The Mechaber, he says that you're not allowed to do the haircut only Shavua Shechal Tisha B'av. Echad Roisho v'Echad Kol Sa'ar Shaboy Osur. You're not allowed to do, according to the Mechaber, from Shavua Shechal any haircut. Then he brings us in Seif Yud Gimel Ubazokon Kol Shemakiv Sa'achilo Mutar. That he talks about not the beard, but the mustache. At whatever the mustache, whatever bothers you to eat, you could cut it during. Now, so according to this, so in Seif Dalet, we learn the Ramah brought over there the Dispoires according to the minhag of the Ramah, the Ashkenazim. It starts already Yud Zayin B'Tammuz. From the whole 3 weeks is not allowed to take a haircut. So according to them, the same thing. The mustache you're allowed to trim at any time if it's bothering you to eat. Now, this is the Shulchan Aruch does not talk about cutting the nails at all. So comes the Taz and he says, and this Seif, he says, Nira du adin atilas tzipornaim the osur b'shavua zu. He says same thing would be according to the Mechaber, that cutting the nails, that Shavua Shechal B'dish would be osur. He says, aval koidem zlezeh mutar. But before Shavua Shechal B'dish, meaning right now, during the 3 weeks, even after Rosh Chodesh, it's allowed to. Afilu lefi ma shenahagu isur b'tisperes min Yud Zayin B'Tammuz. Moshkos Ramah. Even according to the minhag the Ramah, the minhag Ashkenazim, the haircut starting from Yud Zayin B'Tammuz, the whole 3 weeks. But it says cutting the nails, there's no restrictions on it till Shavua Shechal B'dish. And he brings a rayas that's a lot easier cutting the nails than the haircut. Now, the Mogen Avram over here doesn't say anything, but in before this halacha and Siman Kotan Yud Aleph, the Mogen Avram is more even makel than the Taz. He says, Shomaiti, he says, Yesh Ostrin little Tziparnaim Kmoi B'Ovel. We're going to bring this Shita who is Machmir on it. The same thing, like you're not allowed to do haircut, you're not allowed to do the nails. We're going to bring the Shita soon, but Mogen Avram says, oh, I heard of such a Shita. Venirali, he says, the Lo Domi. He says it's not the same, by the Ovel is not allowed to take his nails, something now during these days of Avelis. It says it's not similar. The Zav Kmoi Tzino, U'Ba'Avelis Tzino Tisha B'av Kil Me'Ovel. He says, cutting the nails, it's dvarim shebetzinop. It's not noticeable when you cut the nail. So he says, in this Indian that cutting the nail, he says Tisha B'av, it's a lot easier than Ovel. We're going to see as we go with this halachas. Sometime we're going to say the Avelis of Tisha B'av mitzad echad, that's more chomor because Avelis derabim. Sometime he's saying it's easier than a personal Avelis Tisha B'av. So he says, he brings to the Tosfos that this a lot easier. It's according to the Mogen Avram, B'chalal, there's no restrictions of cutting the nails, and he says, L'chvod Shabbos pshita de shore. What do you mean L'chvod Shabbos? How could that be L'chvod Shabbos? So, like this, if Tisha B'av, like this year, is on Tuesday, L'chvod Shabbos is before even Shabbos, even Tisha B'av falls on Tisha B'av, on Shabbos, I'm sorry, even if it falls on Shabbos, according to Mogen Avram, that Friday, Erev Tisha B'av, you're allowed to cut your nails. According to Mogen Avram, cutting the nails as he is most the makel on it. The Elia Rabbo, he's more clarifies it. It says like this. V'das Mogen Avram nirelati rafilu b'shavua zu. The ba'avelos the tzina kill Tisha B'av me'ovel. I think the dvarim shebetzina, it's avelos of Tisha B'av or a few days before or from Rosh Chodesh, from the 3 weeks, it's a lot easier than a regular oval. It's in the mela by oval take, the Natilas Tzipornaim, it's also like a haircut. Vashenkin Aviri says, you're allowed to. And then he brings like this, the Kibbutz Shel Husker B'Shasu Poskim, Tisha B'av. Legabe cutting the nail it's not brought in anywhere in Shas. You're not allowed to cut your nails during those days of Av or related to Tisha B'av. Something the poskim he talks about till Shulchan Aruch and the Ramot don't talk about. Mainly he says En lanu levados milibenu. We don't understand about the new chumras. The Kosav Arosh of Titus. She'en lilma Tisha B'av mi'ovel misvora. You cannot bring svaras, Madame Milza leMilza, from an ovel to Tisha B'av. Me'ele lochanesh lahokel al kolponim l'chvot Shabbos. Va'afilu b'Shabbos shechal Tisha B'av boy l'mishrogil b'chol Shabbos. If you're cutting your nail every Erev Shabbos, so even Tisha would fall on Shabbos, you would be allowed to do that. Now, I want to bring now the sheet that the Kaf HaChaim brings, the who is machmir on the nails. I'm going to bring, he says like this. The Kaf HaChaim says, Well, inyan tiglachas at ziponaim kosa b'shayora knesses agdoila agoyes b'syoyisov ois mem aleph. Shayora knesses agdoila, he has a commentary on the b'syoyisov. He writes the la'anogim shtol listaper mitzayin b'tamuz. It refers to the minhag of the Ramo, the Ashkenazim, that whoever doesn't do haircut from mitzayin b'tamuz, it says. Who adin the also legalech at ziponaim mitzayin b'tamuz. He's the most machmir on it. But Lamaisa, nobody goes by him because most of poskim, Ashkenazim and Sfardim, they make on it. According to the Taz, it's only Shavuot Shechalba. According to Magen Avraham, Bechlal, there's no such a restriction. Now, since I'm talking about the tzipernayim, the nails, that's something very, very important about the nails the Kaf HaChaim brings. He says like this. He brings from the Mukabolim. V'imat tzipernayim oidfim ala bosar. If a person, that's talking about the whole year, if you have nails growing over your flesh, the big nails.
Extending past the finger. Extending past the finger.
Extending past the finger. Mutar little afilu b'shavua shechal b'tisha b'av. He says you're allowed to do it even b'shavua shechal b'tisha b'av. Sheyesh chiyuv godel al pi asoid litlam. According to the Mekabolim, al pi asoid, it's a big chiyuv not to let the nail grow so big. ושמשקוסו בעץ חיים, שאר פרצוף הזון פרק א', וזה לשוינו. רב חיים ויטל, תלמיד of Arizal, he wrote everything from Arizal. מה שאוידף מן הציפוירן ויוצא לחוץ, whatever sticking out of your finger, the tip of your finger, the nails, מכנגד הבוסר, זה צורך לחתך, you must cut it, דשום ניטלים החיצוינים, ויונקים בתכלס. From all the chitzainim, all the bad spirits, they go over there and they nurture from there. So you're nurturing the chitzonim. Lochen oynesh hamagadel tzipornaim kosher moed ad kan l'shoyna. It's a big oynesh. Whoever has big nails, it's a big one. I mean, there's exception like a moyel shoichet they have for the need to work their profession with it. But stamazoi to magadel. And by the way, there's no better by the women if they have their own nails growing up. According to the Mekubolim, it's a big. Today is no big deal. The women buy fake nails they put on their nails, but that's better to buy the fake nails than the real nails because according to this, the real nails the women have could be nikas achitzoinim from their lochen. It says imem oitfim vayotzim lachutz koitzet mutar lekotzim afilu be'erev Tisha B'av. Even regular year like this year, if somebody has big nails he did not know about. And he's going to hear maybe the shiur now. Even as Erev Tisha B'av, when you just find out about it, you're allowed to cut them even Erev Tisha B'av. He says, that's how bad is the growing the snail. He says like this. Now he brings from the Ben Ish Chai. V'oid amina, v'lo mistafina. D'im nizdamen lo avela shel shloishim, shelo hoi yochel lokas be'erev Tisha B'av. Again, I'm bringing this just to see the severity, how you're not allowed to have big nails. If somebody finishes shloishim and ovel on Erev Tisha B'av, he says, shlo yechol lokus b'Erev Tisha B'av. V'yigi azman k'tzam b'yom Tisha B'av, meaning the shloishim was on Tisha B'av, so the only time you could cut them is Tisha B'av, not before. The day before it was an ovel. He says, shemuter lokot azam b'yom Tisha B'av. Ben Ish Chai goes that far, even on Tisha B'av, if the nails are growing over your fingers, as you're allowed to, even on Tisha, that's how bad it is to have such a nail. Because every moment they're there, you're nurturing the chitzonim. Befrat, Yom Zeh Shesh Lo Tikboy Das Boy. That's by Nishchai. Anyway, so we see from here how severe it is to have big nails that's going over the fingers. And Be'emes is, like I said, according to most poskim, the chumras of Tisha B'av and what comes before that, the Shavuot Shechalva or Rosh Chodesh, Zayin Tammuz, does not really apply for the nails. If it would be the most machmir, it would be the Taz Shavuot Shechalva, but not before. So Memele, there's no restrictions to cut your nails, and especially anyway when you cut the nails or you take haircut, there's an inyan to do it before Shabbos. That's why you do it covered Shabbos. People don't cut the nails every day. The most you cut them once a week. So Erev Shabbos, definitely, like this year, you could do it with no problem because it's not Shavuot Shechalvei and it's covered Shabbos. Mele, you should really cut your nails before Shabbos. Okay.